Hey everyone, so I guess we're doing it like this. There is no Wi-Fi at the minute, there is no electricity. Load shedding has continued longer than it should have. It's also not on schedule. So the app that is showing that our electricity isn't working is also not working. So not great at the moment. I am limited to the amount of battery I have left on my computer. So I have to look at that every now and then, and that's gonna dictate how long this chat is gonna last. But hopefully the electricity goes on somewhere because I need to get data somewhere as well, some Wi-Fi. So yeah, pretty expensive to run this on data. I'm glad to see there's a couple of people already joined. Grant, good afternoon to you. It's just afternoon over here. Big Will, you've been there for a while. I see you've also drank a couple of beers. I just started with mine. And then Chester, good to see you here as well. Unfortunately, I can't read on my screen over there now. I'm on a laptop over here, so I'm going to be going up and down like this, but we're going to make a plan. All the usual suspects, like you say, Chester. Obviously, it's the guys that are always interested in their rugby. But yeah, I have a couple of plans on what we're going to talk about today. I just wish I could have had a fan on because it is extremely hot over here in Bloemfontein. Probably not as hot as you are getting over there in the desert, Grant. Yes, Matthew, how are you doing? Like I said to the other guys, no electricity over here, so I'm getting a little bit hot at the moment, but we'll get through it. So here's the topics I would like to discuss. You guys can obviously add anything to it. Like I said, you take the floor, tell me what you want to talk about, and yeah, we can talk about any of those things. There was something interesting that I read about the Currie Cup and the quality of the rugby we've seen there this morning, and that was quite interesting to me. Yeah, from all the four continents we are here, from the UK, Africa, from Australia, and then from Asia. But I don't know, guys, what do you guys want to talk about first? Probably the Currie Cup because that's the only thing that's running in the Southern Hemisphere. I don't know about you guys up north if you guys want to talk about anything else. But yeah, it is extremely hot in Bloemfontein at the moment. It's ranging at the 30s, and without a fan even, it can get pretty hot. But what do you guys think about the Currie Cup at this stage? They have been saying that the quality hasn't been as good to Aoteraroa and to the AU season compared to the Super Rugby. I don't know what you guys think about that. Um, I also agree with that. I agreed with it until I read a couple of counter arguments, and then things got a little bit more interesting, and I kind of saw a little bit of different sides to the story as well. But yeah, it's been a pretty frustrating morning because I've been trying to get the electricity going or trying to get any sort of electricity going, but haven't gotten anything. Thanks, Will. I appreciate that. Thanks for the beer or a brandy and coke. I'm drinking a Fontaine. So thanks for that. That $5 is probably going to go to data at this stage, probably because that's what I'm using for this video at the moment. Hopefully the Wi-Fi does kick in soon though. For you guys that don't know what load shedding is, it is a forced time where our electricity is turned off for 2.5 hours, but usually is turned off a little bit more. And it does a lot of times not go as planned and on schedule. So getting to what I've been talking about on the Currie Cup. Oh yeah, ESCOM, they're busy again, not doing their job. Yeah, the quality on the Currie Cup. So what I've read on it, the quality hasn't been as good. There's been a lot of kicking and it's been a slow game. I think they've said there's been about 26 minutes of the ball in play, which is pretty bad if you compare it to the actual Super Rugby. So yeah, not so good. But look, the the coach of the coach of the Sharks, he had a good opinion on that. It's very hot in South Africa at the moment, and it's not the ideal time for rugby over here. Not the ideal time for fast-paced rugby. I mean, the Cheetahs have played over here a couple of times at 33 degrees Celsius, and in Durban, it's a lot of times very humid. The humidity is very high over there, so the ball is very slippery. So they treat a lot of the games like it was treated in Japan in the World Cup. Slower, kick the ball, don't try to get the ball too fast paced and get it ball out wide. You first want to get it, slow down the pace a little bit, get the ball in the scrums, get the ball in the maul. So that's why we haven't seen attractive games. They're putting it down to conditions. I don't know what you guys are saying about that. Let me know your opinion, but it's a pretty good argument from them because it is extremely hot at the moment. I mean, every 20 minutes they have a water break. Yeah, just what you're also saying, a lot of the Springboks are overseas. We're not seeing the best players in the tournament as well. It is a lot of development players. I mean, if you just look at a position like the centers in the Currie Cup, there's no Springbok quality centers. Okay, look on your arm. Aside from him, there's no real quality Springbok centers. So yeah, if you look at a couple of positions, it's usually a development competition as well. So I agree with what you're saying, Chester. Yeah, quality of scrums have been great, but they're talking about look. South Africa has always been this way. They compare our rugby to the rugby of New Zealand. How do we play compared to how the All Blacks play and how they played in the Aoteraroa season? And if we do compare how we are playing at the moment, probably not as good as how that competition was, but it's different conditions, and that's what Everett is saying the conditions is going down to. And I don't know, I kind of agree with him because it's been very hot here in Bloemfontein at least a couple of times, and then the guys are playing rugby. Hey Sam, great to see you joining in as well. Another guy here from Bloemfontein, so a couple of people that knows how hot it can be over here. I think it's a team that's supposed to play. I think there is definitely the drive and the competitiveness. The guys definitely want to get the upper hand of each other the whole time. Even the smaller teams definitely want to beat the bigger teams all the time. That's something that I have noticed from the Currie Cup, which I did like, is even the Griquas do want to beat the bigger sides every now and then, but sometimes it's just difficult because they just do not have the depth in their squads. Sorry, Chester, with that comment now. A more attractive style. This is reverting to the type. Yes, it is quite the style of how South African rugby is played. I do agree. But I mean, how we played in the Super Rugby prior to Super Rugby Unlocked, we did play a little bit more running rugby. I mean, if you compare how the Sharks played in the start of 2020 to how they played in the Unlocked and in the Currie Cup, it's two different sides. And I think that could be that's what Everett's saying. He's putting it down to conditions, and I don't know. It could be that, but don't know. Ruan Jans van Rensburg has been scintillating for the Premiership. Yes, he has been. I think he's been great. Putting it back to his form that he was at the Lions, and I think it's probably time for that guy to start coming back to the South African team, especially with us now going to play in Europe. Yes, that I think that is the more important thing to put it down to. The two environments definitely aren't the same, especially at what time of the year they also played the two competitions. Was Big Will, you can maybe correct me if I'm wrong here. It was a little bit more colder in New Zealand, a colder part of the year when the Aotearoa season was played, whereas now this is the hottest part of the year in South Africa, where we usually do not see rugby at all. This is usually the cricket time of year. Yep, big world, complete. Grant, I completely agree with you. The smaller teams, they tend to be in their 50 to 60 minutes. I call it like the Cheetahs' Achilles heel. They've always been that team that just plays for 60 minutes and then they drop out at the end of the game. The Kings, they were always like that as well. it's just where depth of the squad comes in. Your bench is just not as good as the rest of your squad. So that is the problem over at the smaller sides. But I do think when you start up the two teams, the all the teams so far have had good scrums. Most of them have good lineouts, and most of them have good breakdown quality. So I do think up front they do compare well. When you go to the back lines as well, we've seen great scrum halves from the Minos. I mean, Zach Berger from the Griquas, he's been brilliant so far. Smuts from the Pumas, he's been brilliant. So I think there's quality all over in the starting teams for the smaller sides. Yes, Chester, good point there. They also said, I think Rassi said it earlier in the year that the South African mindset should now start changing to a different style of play, to playing in the Northern Hemisphere, to playing in the Pro 16. It's not going to be a lot of running rugby anymore. It's more going to be a competitiveness at scrum time and at breakdown time, more of a front row dominance. If I have to say it like that, you can maybe argue with me or tell your counter perspective there. But I do think it is going to be good quality when it goes to the Pro 16, especially if it's at a better time of year. Going into this Rainbow Cup as well, still a silly name for me. I don't like the name of the competition. But anyway, going into that tournament, I think how we are playing at this stage will probably do us well going into that, because it is a lot like the Springboks played in the World Cup. It was very strong, dominant. There's a lot of kicks off nine, and you kind of try and get the right place on the field, and then you start playing with the ball. Because we have seen some brilliant tries, but not a lot of tries. If you have to put it, I think Keaton, he's the top try scorer at this stage, and he scored 4 tries in the tournament. Comparing that to other tournaments that have been this many weeks long, that's not even a comparison. Guys, if I do pause the screen every now and then, or I do drop out every now and then, I'm still here. I'm just on my phone as a camera at this stage, so I have to go off there to see how much data I have left, to see how long I can still chat and all that type of thing. So if I do drop out, I will warn you, and then just bear that in mind. So I'm a bit disappointed with the cheetahs. Yeah, unfortunately, the tournament has shown that the cheetahs are not the quality of the big four. They are the in the top five of South African rugby, but just not at that level of the big four. Unfortunately, because I love how the cheetahs play, they score probably the best tries in South African rugby. They have a good scrum as well. I do think they would be easily in the top four if they weren't in a position where they keep on losing big names. If it wasn't announced that they would leave the Pro 16 before this tournament, they probably would still have had big names going into and through this tournament, and they would probably be in a better position. I think how many players did the Cheetahs lose through this tournament? They lost Reinhard Venter, who was one of the best hookers in the competition. They lost 2 locks, JP de Pre being one of them. He's already playing for the Sail Sharks. They lost, what's that, Visa? Casper Visa, the number 8, who's also playing. Where is he playing now? Is it Leicester Tigers? They lost him. They just keep on losing big names in a tournament, and that is a big issue for them. Yeah, that's where the name comes. Pro 14, -2 +4 is Rainbow Cup. I'm really not a big fan of the name. I don't know. You can let me know if you're a massive fan of it, but I thought it's going to be a very cool name. I don't know. Tournaments' names are usually something, I don't know, that's cooler than that. Yep. Grant, you agree with me? Yeah. Pair up the lions and the cheetahs again, or maybe the flickwas and the cheetahs, and then you have a different side. Look, if you combine the cheetahs and the flickwas, you're not gonna get anything there. That's basically the team that played in the Super Rugby in the Super 14. That was the flickwas and the cheetahs was the cheetahs team that played there. But I don't know. The lions and the cheetahs maybe, but there's a lot of differences there. I don't think it worked out even when they did it back in the day as well, there was a lot of arguments as well. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could do, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh, that's a bad one. Well, we have the same thing over here in South Africa with other games. We can watch basically everything from South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia live. But if it goes to Premiership Rugby, if it goes to Top 14 especially, uh, and Pro 14, it's very difficult to watch the games live. They usually show it on catch up, or some of the games you don't even see. So that I get you, I feel you. It's difficult to sometimes follow the games. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on commentary here. Top League, yeah, Top League is also not an option over here in South Africa, but they did say that they are busy working on a broadcasting deal to start showing it all over the world because apparently there's no commentators for any other language than Japanese at this stage. Yeah, that's also a hard one for me to understand. How are you going to be going home and away um, in this COVID environment that we are at this stage, because now you have to have a lot of screening and tests and isolation periods, and then we have the Lions tour after that. I almost feel like the Rainbow Cup is going to be cancelled. I have a big feeling that that's not going to go ahead, but I don't know about you guys. I just have that feeling because South Africa's cases are going to go high. It's going up the whole time. The UK is going up the whole time. I don't know where we are going to be at in what's the date for that tournament. I think I do have it here. The date for the Rainbow Cup is 17 April. We don't know where we're going to be over there. Yeah, Chester, you agree with me there. Uh, which players, uh, which players have really stood out lately? Who do you think has shown great potential in the Currie Cup that might become Springboks? I'm going to put a couple of strange names in the hat there of guys that will become future Springboks, and that's from minor teams. From guys like Zach Berger from the Flickers, he's the best, one of the best number nines, surely. I think Ivan Van Zyl has been brilliant this year, and then it's him. He's gonna go to a bigger club surely and become a Springbok one day. Oh, you can't say Springbok anymore because our players go everywhere all over the world and play international rugby for them. Gideon van der Merwe, also from the Flickers, he's been brilliant. I think he can become a big player one day. Who's also been brilliant? Who's that other guy? Rudolph, Rudolph something, number 8 for the Cheetahs. He's been very good as well. Um, he hasn't been really standout players from the Stormers, if I have to be honest, supporting them as well. From the Sharks, I have to think quickly. I'm just quickly scanning through them if I can remember them. Ox is probably going to become a Springbok, but is he the best scrummager? A guy like Juan Pinter has been showing his quality at the Cheetahs as well. Lions, I don't know. That's Van der Berg, number 9. He's also been good. I don't know. There's no real super standouts at number that can become Springboks. The only guys, if you look at the Bulls, they have guys like Stedman Hans at number 13, Hendricks at number 12. He's been brilliant. No one thought he's going to be that good. Number 10, Mordenay Steyn, Ivan van Zyl. But again, if you just look at those names I'm listing, a lot of times that is three-tiered con with promotion relegation. That is something I've always wanted to have more down here in the Southern Hemisphere. I thought that if the Super Rugby wanted to go ahead wider, they had to bring. Okay, sorry, something was happening with my camera. I don't know what's happening with my camera at that stage. Hopefully everything is right. I see my connection is a bit low, but can't do much about that. I wish that we had a little bit more of a tiered competition down here in the southern hemisphere because people still love the tiered competitions. I'm getting very behind on the comments, guys. How the big four supper teams will fare against the likes of Munster, Leinster, and Ulster. Uh, how they will fare there. It's difficult to say, but how they are to those teams, but they have a very. Sorry, guys. Sorry about this connection. It is really bothering me as well, but I can't do anything because I have a light on there to check when the electricity goes back on. I have to go on a mini tour and play all the South African games back to back. This would mean the SA team will be in the same situation as in Super 12. Yeah, I agree here. I definitely agree there. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't see it happening, but hey, they look like they want to get it happening. So yeah, this connection is really bothering me now. Africa. Yeah, I think. Look, I don't have a problem with the rainbow thing and what it stands for any of those reasons you've mentioned. No problem with that. But like you said, it's a politicized word, and that's probably a big problem most people will have with it is that it is a. Whoa, I'm so behind on the comments. It's a rugby in the long run. I'm interested to see how it will affect the Springboks. Yes, I'm most interested to see how the Springboks can play up north when it comes to provincial or club rugby or franchise rugby, and then play down south when it comes to international rugby against New Zealand and Australia. I want to see that. Look, if we can balance that, we're probably one of the countries that have the best combination and one of the best situations to really know our opposition very well. I just want to know do they tour the northern hemisphere? Is that going to be the same kind of effect we, when we tour the north? And that is why it's interesting when we do actually play the pro good until he got injured. Definitely agree there. Sorry, well, it's saying I have 4G connection. Sorry about the connection problems, guys. I can't do anything about it. It's supposed to be on 4G, that's what it's saying, but apparently not. It's a frustrating day over here in South Africa without any electricity. I can tell you that. Goes ahead, the Rainbow Cup, I think it's just for this year. Yeah, yeah. As far as I have it, that is what is the situation at the moment. It is just the Rainbow Cup for this year, or just before the Lions tour, if the Lions tour Sorry, guys. My Yeah, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating over here at the moment. Hey, is there some rugby to watch this evening? Well, I'm gonna watch that for sure because I thought this weekend's gonna be a rugby-less weekend. For you guys watching or in this stream at the moment, it's probably a little bit better to watch, but for whoever's watching afterwards, I think all the connection problems might be a little bit of an issue, but sorry. Okay, yeah, true. You do mean probably more true. Okay, great thing. Well, then we will continue. I'm just getting so hot at the moment without electricity. It's so frustrating. Well, you say, what do you say? Do you want to come to South Africa? Would you come to South Africa even with our electricity problems? Back with Yeah, that is something. That's the first thing I started thinking of when they even started talking about the Pro 16. We're gonna get more money out of this. I already read up a little bit more on it. There is more money in this. Gonna get more money out of the broadcasting rights as well. So we're gonna be able to bring more of our big players back. We can already see that happening. A lot of more big players are coming back. I don't know if that's look. A lot of it is due to like the Bulls having a lot of money because of the big name sponsors behind them, and then the Sharks they have big names behind them now. So the other teams might also get money back, and then they can have big names in their side again. So the European sides might have to start looking at other countries, New Zealand and Australia, maybe to start getting their squads full. Oh, 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 oh. Uh,
Can you guys see me? Am I back? Because I've been struggling. I'm in a different room even now. But yeah, thanks, Will, for plugging the Patreon a bit. It gives me a little bit more support than YouTube actually does. For $1 or $5 or $10 a month, I actually get more money from that. Literally from one Patreon from Will, I get more money from that than I do from YouTube per month. So yeah, thanks for plugging that, Will. If anyone does want to, please do not feel like you should. If you have money that you want to give away, give that to someone next to the street or something like that. Really, I do not feel like you should, but if you want to, I do appreciate it. But yeah, I'm back. I'm on the laptop's camera now. My laptop has been running around a little bit now. I have 29 minutes left on the battery. The load shedding has been on for more than 3 hours now. So yeah, I've been checking out all the comments, by the way. Don't worry about that. It's just can't do much if my connection doesn't want me to type. So I'm typing, but nothing's going through. But yeah, so let's see. Apparently, I can go onto the electricity now. So my face will disappear again for a couple of seconds. Let me just plug this thing in. Okay, great stuff. I have electricity again, so that makes things so much better. I've been running around this whole time watching you guys chatting. But annoying, my closest team is the Dragons, but no one outside Newport supports the Dragons. I used to like the Dragons, but yeah, just because of a couple of players that used to play there. But that's mostly how you follow teams that aren't in your area or plays in a different hemisphere. You follow them because of players that play there. Only thing is it the Scarlets? Yeah, it's the Scarlets that Herschel Yankees had one game for. Oh, great to see I'm clear now. I think the camera is much worse, but great to see everything is clear now. I'm still on my data though, because I can't switch from my data to the Wi-Fi now, because then everything will go stop. But glad that you guys could continue the chat. You guys are great subscribers. I do appreciate it. About the Patreon, it is down in the links below. But like I said, do not feel that you should. It's just, yeah, really. If you want to, you can do that. Sorrel Pretoria is still playing there. Now, I think wasn't he at the Kings at a stage? Yeah, I think he was at the Kings at a stage. This chair is very squeaky. Sweden is a big town, but any culture. Hey, be strong. You've missed a lot of drama. I think you can ask the other guys that they've been keeping this chat going. Whoever is watching this thing afterwards is not going to know what's going on. I don't think anyone's going to understand what's going on in this in this conversation afterwards, because I had about a good 15 minutes of talking and then a good 30 minutes of the other guys chatting to each other in the comments and me just popping up every now and then. But great subscribers, that's what they are. Be strong. So you missed a lot of drama. If you want to, you can go a little bit back and see that. Yeah, Eskom struggles is real. The electricity is back on at least. But Grant, you might know this. The electricity was scheduled to be off from 12, but the electricity went off at 9 this morning. It's supposed to go off for 2.5 hours. It went off from 9 till literally 12:30. So yeah, South Africa. Top 14 tournament, I want to watch much more of it than I can, but we also spoke of it a bit earlier that there's just limited amount of it being shown over here in South Africa. We just can't see much of it over here. They just show like 3 or 4 games of it, and then further than that, you can't really follow it much, because the one weekend they show Clermont. Then the other week they show Toulon. Then the other week Toulouse. You can't really follow a team. I watch a lot of highlights though, and if I can, I always watch Toulouse because Cheslin Colby. Who wouldn't love watching them? And not just them. I mean, they have a very good back line, don't they? Lions tour. Really hoping that continues because I do have tickets. Me and my dad and four of my friends have tickets to go to the final match of the Lions tour. So I actually have a. I really hope that if it continues and the fans can go, probably won't though. So I'm actually hoping for 2022. But if it does happen, I really am hoping for a win for South Africa in the first game, win for the British and Irish Lions in the second game, and then the third game would be the ultimate game to watch as a fan. I don't know about you, but I do think that would be literally the ultimate thing to watch. If you have a plug for the Japanese top league, please let me know. I'd love to watch it as well. But I did I did do research on it sometime. I think there's JTV or something like that where you can subscribe, but it's in Japanese, so it's very difficult to actually subscribe, but it's not that expensive. Top 14, Big Wall. Why aren't you a fan? I love the top 14, but I don't know. It's maybe because there's a lot of South Africans playing in it. So I love watching it. It's a lot of running rugby as well, depending on the team. But yeah. What happens if they uh, can't be fans? Then I hope I get my money back because it was expensive tickets. And I was very lucky to get those tickets because it was a ballot system. It's basically putting your name into a big raffle bag and they shake it about and take out a name and it's like, ah, you're getting it. So very lucky because I know no one else that got tickets. Uh, I prefer anyone. Tian, I got called skinny a lot when I was at school when I was playing rugby. That's where the name comes from. Um, it just kind of stuck. And then I also get called Mr. T a lot of times because of my job. I do teach students, so I get called that a lot as well. So I prefer anything, literally anything. Call me the dude from YouTube as well. Next week, Lions beat the Bulls. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. I think the Bulls are better. They beat them the other day as well, and that's after being a couple of weeks off, not playing for a couple of weeks. They're going to be more prepared this time as well. In Fortress Loftus, nah, they're going to beat them. Used to be a YouTube channel that had a week old Japanese games. I think it's taken down. Yeah, it probably will be taken down though. All these channels that do show old games or do show any bit of a game is an illegal channel. It is copyrighted stuff, so it gets taken down somewhere. You can't have any bit of video that belongs to anyone else that you didn't create yourself. It's against YouTube's copyright infringement, so that YouTube channel would have been taken down probably. Well, okay, I'll talk about that story then. So how I started the YouTube channel is big guy, everyone knows him, 2 Cents Rugby. Love his channel, always watched every single video of his, and always commented on everything he did, watched all his live streams, and then I was like, well, I also have stuff that I would like to add, and all my friends always asks me a lot of stuff, and I'm quite good at predicting who's gonna win. I'm very good at that actually. Struggling these days with the margins, but I used to be very good at that. And I started with a channel thinking of, okay, I'm gonna start a channel predicting of who's gonna win. All right, and then went into that. I also wanted to bring my own little bit of style in that because I also like having a little bit more of computerization in the things because I can edit the videos a little bit more. Um, and that's where it kind of started. But yeah, 2 Cents Rugby is the big reason I started it. Gareth Mason as well. I watched a lot of G-Man's videos. So those are the two big channels. Really, that was the reason I started it. Then I sent an email to 2 Cents. He replied me back like in 2 hours. sent him an email asking him for a little bit of advice, just like how do you start, any advice on like cameras or anything like that. And he gave me a little bit of advice, and I started. Nothing special about that. The one thing I have to say is I told my girlfriend, like, okay, I'm going to start this channel. If I don't have like 100 subscribers in a month, like or not 100 subscribers, I think I told her if I'm not going to get like 100 views of at least one of my videos within a month, I'm going to stop it. Obviously, it's not for me. And it continued. Went through with it. I've never had not that within a month. So that's how it continues. So I'm probably still living on that rule at this stage. I've also changed how I do things. I kind of make videos now for myself. I make videos to, I feel, kind of brings something more than someone else, or not someone else, that brings something more to someone else, like something they didn't know, or something that would have helped them make their prediction, or something they didn't know. Be strong. The subjects I teach, I'm at a university, so I do teach geotechnical engineering. It's quite boring, about soil and stuff like that. No one really wants to talk about that, but yeah, that's what I teach. Uh, Rugby is more interesting to talk about than geotechnical engineering, I feel. Squidge Rugby, obviously another one that would always be one of the guys that I would want to be like one day. It's just difficult. It's a little bit more stressful being a guy like Squidge, because he is borderline on that copyright all the time. He takes sections out of it. He does add his own thing on it. He does add his own information on it. So he's borderline on it. So he's still within the laws of YouTube, but it's always a little bit of a fight and stuff like that. And I just didn't want to be on that line. And it takes a lot longer to make a video like that. So yeah, no, I'm more of the guy that just likes talking in front of the screen, talking about players. I do know a lot of players as well. It just happens that I know a lot of information, so that's kind of how it happens. I'm gonna try and watch the game. We do have a little bit of a potjie over here. I don't know if you guys internationally know what a potjie is. It's like a stew that you make outside on the coals. We're doing that. Star Leo, yes, you are a fan of my rugby content. I know, because I've seen you quite a few times. So don't worry, I know you're there. So great to see you here today. It is straight away. You love YouTube channel. Yeah, dude, thanks for plugging the Patreon. Like I said, sorry, I'm not now showing these things anymore because it's going to block half of my face. I'm actually supposed to sit a bit further back, but that's just not going to happen anymore. So I have to make a plan. Star Leo, you missed a lot of stuff in this conversation so far. Yeah, look, there's a lot of stuff that pisses me off about Sanzar and a lot of the competitions as well, especially the big competitions, the competitions like the World Cup, and another one, this Lions Tour coming up now. There's literally, when you read up, it says specifically stuff about YouTube channels. You cannot have any content from that. From any sort of rugby game from the Lions in any YouTube channel, it's going to be taken down. So that type of stuff does frustrate me. I do understand if you post a whole game and you add nothing to it, that's wrong. I mean, that's literally stealing. But if you're adding a video like Squidge, where he analyzes where the teams are running, analyzes the depth of the game, he twists it a bit. That's more something different. That's completely something different. So yeah, YouTube is also Squidge's full-time job. You can do that if you have a lot of subscribers and a lot of Patreons and GoFundMe's and that type of things. But yeah, YouTube isn't paying as well as it used to in the start. Potjie, oxtail. I think we're just doing a normal beef potjie. I think you'd probably kill for one over there in the desert, Grant. When's that showing, Scott Graham? Sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about. 72 cup between the door. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Good for the game. I haven't watched much of their game. Oh, much of their videos. They are a lot about the betting, right? If I'm not wrong, I haven't watched them in a while, so I'm not even gonna lie. Um, I watched a lot of more YouTube videos when I didn't make these videos myself. But now I just don't get a lot of times. I still get a little bit of time to watch 2 cents and a little bit of G-Man here and there, but not really exploring a lot of channels anymore. But not good for the game is a lot into the predictions and betting a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, right? This cannot be the first time you heard of Squidge. Really, it can't. I think I should just let this slide because otherwise everyone in the comments is gonna have you for dinner. This went into a Twitter battle where he was DMing. Yeah, well, he is. You can see he can be difficult sometimes. I can see he's very opinionated as well. He likes having his opinion and sticking to it. I don't know. Sorry if Squidge is watching this. I like to hear all opinions from everyone. I like to hear what you're saying about stuff. So no, I'm not going to get into a battle with anyone about stuff. If you have your opinion, you have your opinion. I have mine. We'll listen to each other and we'll go through with it like that. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to, Starleo. He uses fair use laws where you can have video content that belongs to someone else. Literally, you can have my video on your YouTube channel, but if you change on it and you analyze my video or you do something on your own, you do something creative of your own on it, it's completely fair. You may have it, but yeah, they don't always do it like that. No, Be Strong, he does analysis of games, basically how a team defends and stuff like that. I'll try and watch it, Matthew. I'll try and watch that game. Uh, but like I said, we're having a poikie. If you know what a poikie is, it's a difficult thing to miss. It's not an easy thing to miss because it is quite good. I just realized I left my dop outside. Damn it. Story. Yeah, I'd also want to hear a little bit more of the story of how Big Will and Squidge got into an argument. Hey, Jordan, good to see you here as well. Always great to have you on the channel as well. You've missed a lot of drama, like I tell everyone that's joining at this minute. Grant. uh, Still, even if I can't remember what you said the other. What did you say? Why the reason is for that? I know he's a difficult guy, and you can see he's a difficult guy. But I mean, he wins. He turns teams around and makes them get better. But why do you say Jake White is crap? Because I mean, the Bulls are playing much better than they used to, and he has a knack of changing teams around. But one thing that I can say about Jake is he always has his favorite players, and then he brings his favorite players with him all the time. So there's one guy that always plays at his team all the time. I really feel like I'm gonna go get my brothers because I'm getting thirsty. Yeah, Big Will, thanks for that. Even with the issues, the Big Will and Grant and Matthew, you guys have been keeping the conversation alive, have been talking a lot. So thanks for that. Damn, my bananas. But oh well, I'll live without it. I just wonder how much data I have left. Let me see. No, it was still a lot, so don't worry. I will probably not cut out at this stage. Sorry if I just quickly check this out. Ah, it did cut out a bit when I did that. Okay, but anyway, let's do the second stream tonight. How do you guys experience a live stream like that when someone watches an old game? How do you experience that? Is it fun? Do you enjoy it? I've never thought of it. I've wanted to do that, but I just don't ever think that it's going to get a lot of people to watch it. And how does it work? Do you guys watch a different video on another YouTube channel? Yeah, just for interest's sake. Grant. So he comes, the team is great, but as soon as he leaves, they're not as great as anymore because he takes all their players again, or what? Oh, it's so frustrating using the mouse pad. Me, I'm a big Stormers supporter. A lot of people will tell you I shouldn't be one, but I am a big Stormers supporter. Cheers, be strong. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll always be here. Yeah, Western Province or Stormers. There is a couple of Stormers / Western Province fans over here. What's your opinion? Should the Stormers cut the Stormers name and just be the Western Province? I don't know. I kind of like the idea, but it's probably not going to fit too well in the Pro 16 because then they're literally the most southern-based side. Yes, this one. Yeah, yeah. I understand. You can do anything, Will. You understand rugby. Because yeah, you got everything correct there. But yeah, I understand. So you guys just chat in the background with another game you're watching as well. During COVID, watch the World Cup. Well, I've probably watched the World Cup final 5 or 6 times. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably around about that. Like I know when the tries are coming. Let's just say that, and not looking at the time. SA Storm. Yeah, look, the Stormers name. A lot of people, international people, like the Stormers name, but people that are actually fans of the Western Province like the Western Province name because that's the original name of the team. It's literally like having the same team and changing their name. It's not like I know in New Zealand they have all these clubs, and then the clubs together form a franchise, like say the Blues or the Chiefs. But over here, it's literally the Western Province. Western Province form the Stormers. No changes whatsoever. And that's what a lot of people get irritated about, especially because it's one of the oldest teams in the world as well. So that's why a lot of people want Western Province as well. Good day, Marius. Good to see you here as well. You missed a lot of drama, but everyone says that's fine in their books. Well, maybe the Stormers, that's why the American consortium was interested in the Stormers, and then the management at the Stormers decided, no, we don't want them. Let the investors go to the Sharks. Let them buy them. And now the Stormers are in the issues they are currently in. I think, is it Jordan? Yeah. Those investors that bought the Sharks, that's the team, that's the investors that would have bought the Stormers that they showed away. As a Stormers fan, very, very, very angry at the management of the Stormers or the Western Province because it would have been their big money but now it's the Sharks, so it's a bit angry, but also what can you do? It's good for them. They're going to buy a lot of big name players. I think it's going to improve a lot of their players. Well, it looks like they kind of want to build a lot on the Eastern Province as well, which is where the Kings are based. So I think that's just going to be good for the Sharks over there. And guys like Kulisi, that's linked to going to them. I see there's a lot of props linked to the Sharks, but honestly, in my books, the Sharks need a proper hooker. They haven't had a proper hooker since Akke van der Merwe. And I see Bongi Mbunambi is on the move, probably. The Bulls looks like they want to sign him. Ah, guys, this trackpad. I keep scrolling past stuff. I understand. Probably internationally, Western Province sounds more boring. They used to be, I think it was for 1 year in the Super Rugby, they used to be the Western Stormers. You're just trying to let us say Farrell, right? Because you have to know this. It's obvious. Owen Farrell, oh, still searching for pennies. Yeah, it's still Western Province in the Currie Cup and in the Super Sport Challenge, or is it the Vodacom Cup now? I can't remember. Italy's still in the Six Nations. Should they be replaced by Romania? Is it Romania or Georgia? Probably Georgia. Um, but Georgia also didn't do too well in this other competition. So I don't know. I'd probably say a Five Nations would suit the whole thing a little bit better because there's actually only five nations that do play proper rugby over there. Italy used to be in it for a little while, but not doing that well anymore. So yeah, Italy, it's a team you know is gonna lose every weekend. Is there space for them? Probably not anymore. Yes, Grant. People of a certain age. I wonder what age that is. Marcel Coetzee, yes, to the Bulls. I wonder who he's going to replace. Probably a guy like Arno Botha because he has not been impressive whatsoever. Nothing. I don't think I've seen anything good from him so far. Can you handle the Western Stormers? But that's not what I'm saying. If they're playing in Europe, they're the most southern-based side, so they probably become the Southern Stormers, and then no one's happy anymore. A good thing for Vietnam not taking the deal. Oh, really? Why do you think so, Grant? Because in my books, I think we're going to lose a lot of big name players now. I don't know, unless we change drastically with our management, because the management is a big issue at the Western Province. Yeah. Well, I knew you had to ask that Farrell question. Look, Italy probably has a reasonably bright future. The only way is up, probably. So probably a good future. Oh, Farrell. I saw this other video the other day of him. Uh, where was it? I think it was on Instagram, where Owen Farrell versus normal players. Then he hits them hard, he hits them high, he hits them with the shoulder, and continues on like that. And then Owen Farrell versus Pacific Islanders. Dude can't tackle anyone, lying on the ground, gets bumped all the time. That was a good video to watch. Ooh, I clicked something. The Guinness Pro 14 group, the Six Nation, and the Gallagher. Yeah, the CVC group, they're going in everywhere. And isn't that the same group that's trying to buy the All Blacks as well for like, isn't it like $2 billion for like a 31% stake, like a very small stake for a lot of dollars? uh, I just said what age. I didn't say anything else. I just asked what age did Grant mean. Colby the Farrell question. What's a Farrell? Oh yeah, Jordan, we spoke about this a little bit earlier. We spoke about this earlier, but we can speak about it a little bit again, or I can summarize. I think Everett, the coach of the Sharks, he summarized it quite well. He said the conditions in South Africa is making it quite difficult. It makes it very similar to the style of rugby they played in Japan. Someone just came in here. I'm not in my room anymore. Someone compared it to the style of rugby being played in Japan, where it was very hot. So it's difficult to play for a very long time. You want to get a lot of scrums, a lot of mauls, a lot of lineouts going, try and slow down the game a bit. So that's why we're seeing a game like that. The one thing the Western Cape can produce is, yeah, true. The Western Cape will always produce big name players, but the thing is, it just always is guys like those Andre Pollards and Francois Hoogaerts and those big players that could have been Western Province stars that head to Pretoria or somewhere like that because we just didn't have the money or the means to sign them. I'll have a look a little bit because yeah, not something I've seen a lot of yet. Yeah, that is something huge of the Western Province and something for the guys from other countries as well. If you don't know this, the Western Province region, they really are. The team is very built on the players from the Western Cape or from their region, and that's something I do appreciate of the Western Province always, and that's something I loved about them initially when I started liking them when I was young. Is a dog being attacked or something next door? Yeah, hard to gauge what the South African rugby is at this stage. I'm stressing to see when the Springboks play again because they haven't played in more than a year. So yeah, Derek Hougaard as well. Yeah, Marius, I've been monetized for I think a year, more than a year now. There is a chance that I might lose my monetization because you have to keep up with 1,000 subscribers every year. So I started my channel in 2019 on the 14th of February. My girlfriend wasn't too happy with that, but I started it then. So basically, in the first year, I made 1,000, and in the second year, I made 800. So unless I get 200 subscribers somewhere before 14 February, I might lose my monetization. But it's not the end of the world. It's not why I do this. But yeah, that's gonna be tough. But last year was unpredictable. It was very difficult. There was literally months where I got so little views because I did not. There was just no rugby content. I made that does size matter videos, but that was about it. But thanks, yeah, 1,800 is more subscribers than I ever thought I'm gonna have. So yeah, yeah, Big Wall, I do agree with this as well. I do enjoy his commentary as well. Sometimes he's a little bit harsh or a little bit difficult, but yeah, I enjoy his comments because most of the time he's a little bit more in depth or he has a little bit more of a deeper view than other commentators. Other guys just look at how they see things. So yeah. Yeah. He knows what he's talking about when he's not trying to be controversial. Did you guys see that other advert where a mallet is in? It's for some kind of pub and grill or something like that where you call someone a poopole. Quite nice to watch as well. It's funny. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, over here today in Bloemfontein, it's 30 degrees Celsius, and it's a cooler day in the summer now. Usually it's about 33, 34 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I don't think it's comparable. Literally in places like Durban, it gets so hot that the ball slips the whole time because of sweat. That's the problem. Yeah, Big Wall, I was quite a brave man to start it that day. My girlfriend was really not happy with me telling her that no, it won't affect anything of Valentine's Day tonight. It's just a video quickly. So yeah, and that was like on a yeah no. Anyway, uh, yeah, I won't give up. I won't give up. There's no, like I said, I'm not trying to get to a certain stage. I'm not trying to, for the monetization. The monetization is nice, getting a little bit of kickback for the effort I put in is nice, but it's really not what I do it for. I do it for the fun of it. It's really fun. If I was not doing this channel, I would literally have sat in front of all of these team sheets and have dissected it like this still. So, videos. Good. Ah, thanks. Well, I also enjoyed it. It was some of my favorite videos that I did do. If I had to pick my favorite videos, it was that series where I dissected does size matter in the different positions in that playlist. It was super fun to do, hard to do as well. I didn't get it perfectly. I can be honest about that as well. I learn every day, but still, it was very fun to do. Hey, that's not that reason. Well, Grant, but yeah, it was pretty risky. We're still together to this day, 2 years later, and that was only 1 year anniversary or 1 year later. So we've been together 3 years, and I've done it over Valentine's Day a couple of times. So still going. Yeah, 30 degrees Celsius, and that's cooler in the summer. Yeah, exactly why I'm saying the heat is killing me. If there is no electricity, we need a fan if it's over 30 degrees Celsius. Ah, I won't give up, man. Don't worry. If there's any reason for me to give up, it will be because my studies is holding me back too much, or I don't know, some other threat like that. But that's not gonna keep me back. I'm actually stressing a bit for next month. I'm gonna share this a bit with you guys. There's a lot of rugby coming up next month. Let me sit up a little bit. You're probably gonna let me sit up a little bit and just show you the amount of rugby that's coming in February. There's the AU and the Aoteraroa. We have what's that? The franchise cup is coming as well, Six Nations. So I have no idea how I'm going to cover everything because that's a lot of games in a weekend. It's probably going to be about what no, probably 6 to 9 games a weekend that I have to cover, which makes it very difficult to cover everything. And that's something I'm quite stressing about for next week. I don't know when I'm going to cover what, and but I'll make a plan. I'll see what I can do. Uh, but yeah, quite stressing with that because I'm very near the last bit of my study, so I also need to put a little bit of energy in that as well. So yeah. Hey, Big Will, you're still a brave man as well. You're still a brave man as well. I still don't know how Mrs. Will lets you do this Patreon things and stuff like that. But brave man, and I'm happy for it. Thank you for that. But yeah, I still can't believe I got away with that. But she's a very understanding woman, very understanding. So, all right, stage. Yes, the Major League Rugby. I also enjoyed it at a stage. But I think where did I get over it? Um, Also, like the Russian rugby, I also got over it because of how slow it was. It's not as slow as the Russian rugby, but it's a bit low, it's more slow than our rugby. The commentators also bothered me a little bit. They sometimes you can hear they're not too experienced with the game. Not all of them, just some of them. But yeah, that's where I kind of got over it. But it's still fun to watch. What I like about the US rugby is it's free on Facebook. That's a part I love. You can literally, you're scrolling on Facebook late at night and hey, rugby, and then you start watching it. That's what I really enjoyed about it. And I don't know about you guys, but the other day when they started talking about the rugby in South Africa, it might be started to stream in some other channels as well. They don't want to have this financial block anymore. They want to kind of start showing it on different channels as well. I was started to get excited, but they're not going to make that happen. It looks like SA Rugby is fighting that because what percentage did they say? I think they said like 87% of South Africa's finances or South Africa's rugby finances come from that DSTV deal they have with SuperSport. So that is the big thing why we just don't see rugby like that. But coming back to the Facebook thing, it would have been nice to have some smaller games, even like the school rugby in South Africa on Facebook, because schools rugby in South Africa is massive. We haven't seen it in more than a year, but that's something. If you are international and you would want to watch schools rugby, the New Zealand competitions and the South African competitions are massive to watch. Guys, are there anything else that you guys want to talk about? I think my data still looks fine over here. Yeah, still fine over here with my data balance. It's been a rough day with all of this recording. What haven't we talked about yet? I think we've covered most of this. The Trans-Tasman, that's also something we haven't talked about yet. The big name signings at the Western Force. I think I saw you guys did talk about that in the comments when I was busy struggling. Yeah, SA Rugby gets most of their money through DSTV, and now they're going to get even more, looks like it, from the deal with the Pro 16 in the future. So, yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's a good way that you see it, Will. I don't know if you guys can see it. I made emojis or emojis. I don't know how to pronounce it. I made these little stickers, personalized ones that you can add to this stuff. But that's coming in the future. I'm gonna bring out channel membership. That's coming soon. Also, the merchandising. It's coming soon as well with these shirts. The website is almost up and running. That's the type of stuff I'm trying to get sorted. But like I said, it's for fun. I'm enjoying it. A lot of people just ask me to start doing stuff like that. I don't know what that is. What is a tarau? Yeah, the under 21 Currie Cup was free. I remember watching that. That was fun as well. It's fun to at least have a little bit of free games. That's what you want to watch. Is it a sort of underwear if I look at the comments? Yeah, France is a dangerous one to watch. But like you also mentioned, their games might be cancelled. The only game that has been approved so far is the game between them and Italy. But further than that, no other game has been approved. So might not see them so much. I want to hear this best scrum half in the world, because we have people from all over the world over here now. South Africans would say Faf de Klerk. I am of the opinion that DuPont might have overtaken him at this stage. New Zealanders, you guys might say Aaron Smith still. I don't know. I'd say DuPont is probably one of the best ones at the moment. Okay, so I was correct with underwear. All right, so cool. Yeah, the merchandise. There's going to be interesting stuff. The jackets for sure in the winter. I'm excited for the jackets. It's very cool jackets, very hot jackets as well. You guys can always get into roasts over here. That's why I said I shouldn't get into. I shouldn't get in too deep with it. Faf and then Smith. Okay, okay. Reinach. Good point. You can't really take him out of the equation. But damn, yo. Look, Faf is brilliant in club rugby. He's a brilliant player. We don't see what he can do ultimately at the Springboks, but he does his job at the Springboks perfectly, which probably makes him a brilliant scrum half, doesn't that? Aaron Smith, we saw what he did at the Highlanders, which was a losing team, and at the All Blacks, brilliant player. Dupont does both of that jobs as well with his uh, with Toulouse and with France. So all of them brilliant players. How do you rank them though? Back to Africa, they should host. Some of the biggest stadiums. Which ones are you referring to? Which ones would you like them to host? I would just love a game in Bloemfontein, to be honest, because literally the stadium is 7 minutes from my house, and there's never any games, and can't even watch the Cheetahs there. Couldn't even watch the Cheetahs there in a couple of, or like in the whole year now, because of the whole situation of the spectators. Still think Smith may be the best all-round fly half, probably scrum half. You mean special player? I think Aaron Smith at the edge now. Okay, still Smith then, but Dupont, he is a special player. He's probably at least going to be the best sometime. Yeah, true. I agree. Well, Faf and so look, we at least know who's the top three, at least the top four. We know who's in that reckoning there. It's everyone will always mention Faf. Everyone will always mention Smith and Dupont. So we always know who's kind of there. And like Matthew, you said Reinach, also a guy you can't ever discount there, because he's a guy that's always brilliant there as well. But yeah, the other position that I wanted to talk about was fly half, because I have no idea who's the best fly half at the moment. Granted, I was hoping no one knew that, but yes, everything in Bloemfontein is 7 minutes away, or at least at the most 15 minutes away. Okay, Big Will, you're on to me, fly half as well. I fly half. I don't know. It's difficult. Andre Pollard is a brilliant number 10. At the moment, who's the best number 10? I'm going to need some help internationally to put a couple of names up, and I can think about it a little bit. Because fly off, we haven't seen a brilliant fly off in now a couple of years. Like, that's really a difficult one. I remember the days when there was literally a couple of names you can put in the basket, like Mornay Steyn and Daniel Carter, and not a lot of people liked him, but like guys like Quade Cooper and Ntamaki, he's a brilliant number 10. Is he the best though? Okay, you guys think about that. Let me quickly read this comment. Alice Park, Loftus, Moses Mabira, Nelson, Cape Town. Yeah, that would be interesting. That is a way to, I know that is a way to get a bid easier through. To get a bit easier through to World Rugby is if you include like a different host nation as well, or a neighboring country, just to tell them, okay, one game going to be played there as well. But the thing about a game like Namibia, very far away from South Africa, it is, even though it is a neighboring country, the biggest stadiums aren't that big. I don't know about Zimbabwe, maybe how big their stadiums are. But small games can be played there, definitely. Yeah, Farrell, I do like him more at 10. I don't think there's another bloke better than Carter. Carter was a brilliant player, best 10 I ever watched. But yeah, 10 is a difficult question. Who is the next big thing? So who knows? Who knows? Even from country to country, it is even difficult to know who the best 10 in that country is currently. Remember a couple of years back when everyone was like Bowden Barrett, definitely. Now he's not even in their reckoning. Mahunga? What about Mahunga at number 10? Is he maybe the best number 10 at the in the world currently? It's probably still not Carter good, but currently might be maybe probably the same as Ntamak though. Let's play. Did you watch the Cheetahs play any of it? I did watch. Who did I watch them play over here in the Bloemfontein Stadium? I watched them play a couple of Pro 14 games. I think it was Glasgow. I can't remember. It was in 2019 and 2018, so I can't remember. 2019, yeah. Sanchez, Argentina. Sanchez, he's a good number 10 as well. Yeah, that would be very exciting and new, but I don't think the world is currently the happiest with Argentina at the moment. Um, I saw they might be losing their sponsorship as well. They might be losing Nike as well. Um, don't know, but because it was posted by Rugby Onslaught, so who knows how true that is. We know a lot of that stuff being posted on there a lot of time is a little bit of banter or a lot of speculation on there as well. Most team kick, tackle, attack with the best. Yeah, pull out true. Maunga was superb as well. Wow, I did not know that. Okay, then definitely a game should be hosted there. Would help both. It would help definitely Zimbabwe if one game at least could be hosted there. Even a smaller game they would be interested in. Literally, I mean, you can maybe let me know if Namibia had to play a game against Italy or something like that in that stadium in Zimbabwe. That would probably get a bit of traction because there's another African side. Okay, well, so you vote for Farrell. Okay, great. Then it's settled. Then it's Farrell. Tina Carter level and no, never. Carter and Wilkinson level. We won't see that soon again. Yeah, true. That would be interesting. Also, like, who's this other guy that's commenting? Sorry, there's a lot here. Uh, Kutenda. What he's commenting in South America, what you could also do is have a couple of countries participate in being the host nation. Maybe a couple of games in Brazil, stuff like that. Yeah, Andre is probably one of the best ones, but yeah, I won't say he's the best one, but that's difficult because you have to rank them literally. You have to rank the next generation best number 10 after the generation of guys like Wilkinson and Carter. It's so difficult to do. We thought Barrett would be that guy, but he fell out of it a little bit now. Yeah, okay. Even if that was there, they would watch it. I know Zimbabwe is big in their rugby. I've seen how good you guys are getting as well. I watched another video the other day of Madagascar. Their rugby is getting good as well. Cover for Willie Leroux at fullback. I thought it's going to be Galant because he was in brilliant form for the Stormers, and he has a bit of experience for the Springbok as well. But now he's injured, so Naturally, another guy that has Springbok experience. It's not everyone's favorite guy, but probably Damien Willemse, probably. Other than that, Apelele Fasi from the Sharks, but he hasn't been in his good form yet because he's been injured as well. Um, Frans Steyn, I don't know. He was still playing 15 at Montpellier like a couple of months ago. He played a couple of games at 15, not a lot. But the big guy that you could play there is Tiaan Swanepoel from the Lions. He's a big option for me for the Springboks because of his massive flip and boot. I don't know if you guys internationally have seen that guy kick. He's a next Frans Steyn when it comes to kicking. Definitely could go in there as an option at 15. Probably not the best number 15, but if you have a guy on the field that can kick over from 70 meters, literally he has done that in an actual game in Australia, then why not? Do you think Russia should still be in the running for 2027 Rugby World Cup? I don't think Russia should be in the running for the 2027 Rugby World Cup. That's my opinion, but someone might differ with me there. Yeah, this is a frustrating thing, and not there. This one, a lot of the French clubs dictate international rugby like everywhere. Actually, they even dictate South African international rugby sometimes. They tell us when to pick and when not to pick. And yes, well, Madagascar is a real place. Yeah, definitely. If you watch, you can go watch on YouTube. Well, I know you're a massive fan, so watch on YouTube. There's a couple of free videos on how they play. Yeah, no, I'm not saying Willemse definitely at 15. I'm just saying he'll probably be picked because he is a Springbok already. Cohen Bosch, he's been playing at 10 the whole time, but he's been brilliant so far. Tackling, though, still not there yet. Yeah, Tiaan Swanepoel, that boot of his, definitely. Yeah, definitely watch this. I think what was the game? There was a game where they almost secured a World Cup spot by beating Kenya or something like that. I can't remember. I watched it a long time ago, but that was a very, very good game. Yeah, that's true. They have their own haka, and that is their national sport. And percentage-wise, they have a higher rate of people playing rugby in Madagascar than a rate of people playing rugby in New Zealand, literally. So they're very big in their rugby over there. I think Rugby Pass even did a video on that sometime. Yeah, French rugby clubs think they are the guys that are in charge of all the international rugby because they have the money. They beat Namibia once. Yes, that was was it that team that video is on YouTube, I think. I know you were playing, but still, it's fun to play with you, man. It's fun to agree with it. Is it a real place? I don't know. Um, but yeah, I was shocked when I discovered that their rugby is that big. Yeah, he's brilliant. He is. I don't want to sound like an idiot now, but he is the brother of Quibus Vise from the Sale Sharks, right? If I think I did read that up, and it is that, right? So that's big. So both of them are brilliant players, very hard running players. Jasper Vise, he was good over here at the Sharks, but he's brilliant over there now. Oh, would you shake it up if they had to play a strange team? Vermeulen would probably be I'd pick Vermeulen at lock rather than Siakulisi at lock because I mean he's a little bit taller. But yeah. Grant. King Julian, yeah. Werner Kok, I don't know. I haven't been very impressed with him so far this year. He hasn't done much yet. It's. I hate it when sevens players come in and they don't do what I thought they would do because Werner Kok is a brilliant sevens player, but then you look at guys like Kurtley Arendse and Hans, who I thought they're going to do okay in the 15s game, and they've done brilliantly so far. So I don't know. Unfortunately, he didn't surprise. But if I had to pick like a second string Springbok team to play a team like Uruguay, I'd probably go. Let's go through here. I'd probably go a little bit more different. I'd probably go Mbunambi. I'd probably pick someone like Ntubeni. Ergis Snyman. Okay, yeah, he's probably a bench guy, but he's still very good. Willem Alberts, maybe. I don't know. Ori. Vermeulen. A guy like Gideon van den Merwe at 6, he would be brilliant. Augustus, Yankees. Zach Berger at number 9. Cohen Bosch at number 10. Yeah, but that's a very experimental team you have over there. Yeah, Ruan Janssen van Rensburg to get him back in internationals again. Yeah, King Julian and what? Who's his little minion? Who's that little minion of his? He would be the number 9. Would a Lions version of SA, New Zealand, and Australia work if they were to tour? Do you mean? Well, do you mean if they had to tour all the countries at one time? How many times would they play all the teams? Like 3 times each, or I'm not sure what you mean there. Yeah, I also agree. Werner Kok, I think he would make a brilliant centre because he's a very big hitter. Yeah, just pick the Sale Sharks for Scotland, and then you have your whole second team or your third team for the Springboks. The pay to the players. As far as I know, the MLR doesn't pay that well, or unless I'm missing something. As far as I know, the MLR's pay is quite bad at the moment. Is that the minion? He's the number 9 for Madagascar. Nkosi, that's one that I've always wanted. Nkosi at number 13. He would be a brilliant number 13. I've wanted that move for so long now, but unfortunately, he plays at the Sharks where Lucanio Am is at number 13, already a Springbok number 13, so probably not going to get into that position there. But Nkosi should be playing number 13. Throw in the hat. Tyrone Green. Yeah, that's a guy to bring up. He's both as good at number 15 as he is at the wing. So yeah. Northern Hemisphere Dream Team versus that. Don't even put something like this in front of us. This is all rugby fans' dream to watch. If we could watch like a Southern Barbarians versus a Northern Barbarians, that would be brilliant to watch. But yeah, fun things to watch. I mean, then you could say, who's better, Aaron Smith or DuPont? Or Ntamak versus Pollard. That would be brilliant to watch. Made up of, oh, okay. That would be brilliant as well. That's almost like a Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere, just not completely. I'd love it. I think that would be a good one. I mean, the British and Irish Lions is joining a couple of teams together, so why can't we? Who would win that thing? That would probably be the Southern Hemisphere. Just a little bit biased there, but yeah, probably the Southern Hemisphere there, and then The tour, they'd probably have to also every 12 years or so um, be in the same country. Every 4 years they tour one of the other three countries. So say all three the Southern Hemisphere countries join up, make a team in South Africa this year. The Lions tour this team or tour this country. Then in the next 4 years they go to Australia. All the different Southern Hemisphere teams join up there, play the British and Irish Lions, and then they go to New Zealand the other 4 years. Yeah, this would be fun to watch. This would be fun to watch. I just don't know what we would call ourselves because um, lions actually exist in the southern hemisphere and not in the northern hemisphere. So I think I would have liked that name more, but I don't know what we would call ourselves. Yeah, I heard he's playing number 8 and he's actually doing quite well, if I understand correctly. Mm. David Pocock. I don't know. David Pocock. That's my final answer. Yeah, imagine Eben Etzebeth playing alongside Brody Retallick in the second row. They don't even like each other when they're playing against each other. How are they going to play with each other? So basically, a team of anyone that hasn't played any international yet. That would be great. That would be great. Because there's big names that you're missing out on. As long as this Barbarians doesn't cap them in any way, shape, or form, because there's a lot of Southern Hemisphere players playing up north. So for who are they going to be eligible for? For the north or for the south? Yeah, well, how are you missing this? He's playing 8 at the moment and he's pretty good at it. I mean, we've seen Bastaro, he's been picking up weight over his career. So he's a very big number 8 at this point. He loves running over players and he scores tries as well. Yeah, it's such a hard pick for me because I like both of them. I would have liked to have both of them in my team. To me, I've just always liked Pocock because I kind of started watching rugby when he started, or not. Yeah, more or less. I started watching rugby when he started out, and then saw his career progress to the end. And he's from Zimbabwe as well, so I know he's closer to South Africa or from here. So I don't know. He's just always been more. I've been a bigger fan of his. Yeah, I think that's a big definition of him. What do you think, guys? Think of Hooper at this stage. Hooper, um, for a couple of months now, he hasn't been at his best. But when he puts on that Wallabies jersey, definitely the best player you can find in his position. But playing at the Waratahs, being the captain for the team, probably not the best. Then he gets picked for South Africa, for Australia. How you could compare that to any other international team, I don't know. If there was a guy that's playing out of form for his side as the captain, would he be picked as an international and be the best for them? I don't know if there's a lot of players that would be like that. Yeah, I'm also starting to get very hungry over here and want to go catch up with my branas outside as well. I'll definitely do it again. Sometimes it's difficult to find the time for it as well. Like I said, girlfriend, balancing all that stuff, but definitely do it again. It's very fun. We'll do it again, but there also has to be space between the streams as well. I like to have a bit of space between streaming it now and next time, maybe in a couple of months, so that we have a lot to talk about. Yeah, Richie McCaw though. Uh, Did you know? Sorry, did you know that played hooker in his early years, but now plays center? Isn't it what Anton Leonard Brown? That Anton Leonard Brown played hooker. Is that what you're talking about? I could think so because his brother plays prop, so probably. Sorry, you can maybe clarify on that. Yeah, I think it's time for him to move overseas as well. Thanks, it was really fun, guys. Thanks for joining, especially you guys overseas that's been very late as well. Oh, yeah. Take it easy, guys. It's been fun. It's great to see that most of you guys has been here the whole time. For anyone that is watching this afterwards, very weird stream that it was, but it was fun. So yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for joining. I'll just stick around for a couple of seconds still. Yeah, Anton Leonard Brown. Thought that's what you meant. Yeah, I think he is a brilliant center, by the way. Get over your hangover. Mine probably tomorrow, maybe. Don't know. Okay, sharp. Cheers, everyone. And then I'll see you again. Big Will, thanks for those stickers or thanks for those. I think you gave $10. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it, man. Always there, having my back. Cheers, Jordan. Thanks for joining. Cheers, Grant. It was fun to catch up with you again. Good to see you're still alive there in the desert. It's not too hot over there. Okay, and then I am out.